our struggle since the 60s, you will see nothing but betrayals by the petty bourgeois elements in our society. The African bourgeoisie is the most corrupt bourgeoisie in the world. In Africa, they seek luxury in the midst of mass suffering.
For what is what, I ain't trying to round my luck this game up. I ain't trying to show skills to the brother speed up.
So, we have the return of Yahaya Bello. Yahaya Bello is a former governor in Kogi State, one of the poorest states in Nigeria, one of the poorest states, regions in the world. The people of Kogi State have absolutely nothing. They have no basic amenities, no infrastructure, no drinkable water. Like, I'm not even exaggerating when I tell you that the people of Kogi State, just like most other states in Nigeria, listen, this is not to target Kogi because we're all going through it. Every single state in Nigeria is going through this. We don't have drinking water, especially the people of Kogi. We don't have good roads. We don't have good hospitals, and we don't have good schools. And 80% of the population is perpetually living in poverty, hopelessness on a perpetual basis. This individual, Yahaya Bello, is the former governor of that state, Kogi State. Now, Yahaya Bello was involved in one of the crimes. First of all, they called this guy Governor Tatata. When he was a governor in Kogi State, he was referred to as Governor Tatata. And people made songs about him being Governor Tatata. They also, they glorified this guy. And I'll explain what Tatata means. Let's listen to Grok. In Nigerian political slang, particularly Kogi State context, tatata, often stylized as tatata, refers to governance or electioneering involving thuggery, intimidation, and suspension using superior firepower, essentially rolling through the barrel of a gun. So, Yahaya Bello and his style of governance was to utilize thuggery and violence to stay in power. But he's not the only person. That's how majority of the Nigerian governors are, and presidents, and everybody that has made it to the top political positions. You have to be violent, you have to be a murderer, you have to be a criminal before you get to a top position in the Nigerian political space. After getting to the political space, the next thing you do is you steal as much money as possible, you amass as much wealth as possible, because that's just how it is. Politics is the most lucrative career path in Nigeria, followed by maybe pastorpreneurship business. If you're one of those people that are able to build a huge following using the Christian faith, and then you can make a lot of money from the people because they are hopeless. And while they are being hopeless, they've been sold the illusion that they are supposed to suffer on earth and their reward is in heaven. So they don't bother trying to fix the physical environment. They are waiting to get to heaven. But that scam that the pastors perform helps the pastors become billionaires. But I digress. Let's talk about Yahaya Bello. Yahaya Bello was involved in a crime, many crimes, killed people, utilized his thuggery. His thugs murdered people. They literally broke down a road that was paved by a senator that was his rival while he was the governor. Let me explain this again. While Yahaya Bello was the governor, a road in a state that was paved by a senator in that same state was destroyed by Yahaya Bello because he was trying to send a message to the senator. So you can imagine that level of thuggery, impunity, and violence. Now, this same guy, Yahaya Bello, he handpicked his successor. The guy that took over, that is currently the governor. Yahaya Bello selected that guy because he became a godfather in politics in Kogi State, an absolutely poor, wretched state in Nigeria, just like every other state in Nigeria is. He stole at least hundreds of millions of dollars while he was the governor of Kogi State. But the evidences that we have some evidences. Part of the evidences were exposed by Abuja American School, where his children school. Yahaya Bello had kids that were in the classes from 2nd grade to the 8th grade. And he made a deposit of $720,000 in advance as fees for 5 of his children. And he got all that money from the coffers of Kogi State government. Are you following me? Fast forward, the EFCC, Economic and Financial Crime Commission, they began investigation, a fake investigation, by the way. They pretended like they were investigating. Check this out. He was arrested today. This is how they arrest a criminal that stole hundreds of millions. This guy stole billions of naira, billions and billions. This is how he was arrested in quotation. He was strolling into the EFCC office after the EFCC chairman had bragged that if Yahaya Bello was not arrested, man, he's not doing the right job. Something has to be done. But we all knew it was a lie. And I would explain what exactly went down. Because Yahaya Bello is a member of the APC, the current party destroying Nigeria. They've been in power since 2015. APC. They call themselves All Progressive Party, but they are actually, in my opinion, a terrorist organization. It's not even an opinion, it's a fact. Because ever since the APC got into Nigeria, it has completely destroyed Nigeria. From the economic aspect, the security aspect, everything about Nigeria has gone down the drain. Today in 2025, October, Nigeria ranks at the bottom of the world in terms of life expectancy, 54 years. But I digress. This guy, being a member of the APC also has the president Tinubu in the party. And the thing is, once you can kiss the ring, once you can kiss the ring of the president Tinubu, then you're good. Any crimes that you've committed is all washed away. All your sins are washed away. And that's exactly what happened with Yahaya Bello in this case. So this guy, they claimed he was arrested in quotation. Meanwhile, he's strolling into the EFCC office with some lawyers. He came in a convoy of the current governor, which gave him some immunity, right? I shouldn't laugh, but so stupid. The guy claimed that he arrested him. Obviously, that's a lie, right? But I digress because the EFCC is also extremely corrupt, just like every other institution. Nigeria is an absolutely corrupt shit show. Every aspect of Nigeria, gone, destroyed, corrupt. To make matters worse, to spit on the faces of the victims of Nigeria. After this guy was not only arrested for stealing money, the American school decided to refund part of that money to the EFCC. We find Yahaya Bello today campaigning, bragging, talking about. First and foremost, I want you to notice this sign. I don't know if you can see my mouse. This sign is the sign of Tinubu, the sign of APC. This is the sign that you have kissed the ring. Because obviously, if you don't kiss the ring, your sins will not be forgiven. You are going to suffer politically. Your political career will be destroyed. In the current Nigerian climate, if you don't kiss the ring, if you don't have this badge, it looks like an infinity badge. You see, all these guys have the badge all over their clothes. If you don't have that badge today, then you've not kissed the ring, and most likely your political career will be destroyed. And if you happen to be an enemy of the guys in power, then you will be destroyed. So Yahaya Bello quickly kissed the ring, and then the EFCC, that is also employed by the APC government, they forgot about his sins. 10 months later, after that fake arrest interview by the EFCC, look at Yahaya Bello campaigning for an election in 2027 in a state where 75% of the people are extremely poor and hopeless perpetually. It has always been this way. He was governor for 8 years. For 8 years. Not only did he steal money, kill people, and destroy the state, there was absolutely no development. So, and then he handpicked his successor because the electoral process doesn't work. It's a godfatherism type of electioneering. I'm not pronouncing that well. Election process. It's godfatherism. That's how it works. Listen to this guy campaigning. Now, if you paid attention, first things first, he starts by praising Tinubu because you have to kiss the ring in this political climate, which is going to end eventually because Nigeria has reached that peak period. And it's so crazy because Nigeria has been at the peak period for a very long time, but somehow it's still existing the way it was. But we've gotten to that position, that point in history where things have to fall apart. Absolutely. Because I'll tell you what, people are getting killed in their hundreds every single week, sometimes in their thousands. Like every single day, you hear news about 100 people are getting killed, slaughtered in Katsina, 50 people are getting kidnapped and massacred in Edo, 60 people are getting slaughtered in Zamfara. Every single day, people are getting killed in numerous numbers by terrorists, by bandits, so called bandits, but they're actually terrorists with machine guns. Some of these machine guns are like imported from Russia. I'm talking about machine guns that can pierce through armor, that can pierce through any type of defense system. Where are those ragtag terrorists getting those weapons from? Apart from the perpetual poverty, the crash in the economy, the crash in the value of the currency, apart from all the economic downturn that is going on, the insecurity has completely destroyed the country. Yet, the criminal politicians that created the mess, they get to walk around free and they get to brag about another fake election process coming up in 2027. Everybody is thriving except the common Nigerians. And the common Nigerians make up 90% of the population. It's all about the achievement of the president. Of course, he has to continue because if he doesn't continue, clowns like you will have to flee Nigeria. You would have to run away because a working system will never allow a criminal that has killed people with clear evidences everywhere, that has stolen money with clear evidences everywhere. That individual is supposed to be in prison for the rest of his life. But in Nigeria, they are rewarded. In Nigeria, under the government of APC, they are rewarded with top positions. So this guy, after kissing the ring, the next thing is to become a campaigner for Tinubu for the next elections, for APC, for Ododo, the current governor of Kogi State, to continue in Kogi State. If I show you guys what Kogi State looks like, it's unbelievable. Just Google search Kogi State, Nigeria. It's an absolute mess. Zero infrastructure, zero amenities, poverty everywhere. But let's continue. It's all about singing the praises. Yeah. We have the tat tat tat. Listen, remember this guy is a violent thug. I need you to remember that. Yahaya Bello is a violent thug. He's telling the victims of Nigeria that if you want to contest against Tinubu, you have people like me himself to contend with. So being a violent thug, Mr. Tatata, Governor Tatata, that means be ready, come with your weapons because he has his own weapons, he has his thugs, and they have everything to fight you. Why are they fighting you? They're not fighting you to have a better country, a country that is sustainable for everyone. They are fighting you because that is their survival, their political survival, to the detriment of 85% of the population. And that's why the people are perpetually poor because of this. So I'm not going to complete this video. It's useless. Just wanted to show you how ridiculous the Nigerian situation is. And when eventually the revolution occurs, because it's going to happen, things are slowly building up towards that revolution. I can sort of see it happening. Each time we come together, we try to protest and try to get rid of this evil, wicked, corrupt system. Somehow they use extreme violence. By the time they kill 200 people, everybody runs away, goes back to their homes. But the time is going to come that people are going to lose their fear of dying. People will realize that I'm so poverty stricken, living in this world is useless to me. I might as well go ahead and be a part of the revolution that will potentially destroy these guys that have ruined our lives. On October 20th, in 2 days' time, on Monday, there is going to be another protest, an attempt to release by the people. Hopefully, it's successful. If 1 million people can come out, it's going to be successful. An attempt to release Nnamdi Kanu. It's led by Shobore, courageous guy. Omoyele Shobore, an extremely courageous, calm guy. A guy that has a mission. He's a man on a mission. I'm really praying for his safety, because he's one of the last few people that is encouraging Nigerians to stand up against this hopelessness, this impunity that we are going through. So they're going to stage a protest to the Aso Villa. They've already been told by the corrupt police that, oh, you guys shouldn't stage a protest because, you just don't stage a protest. Even though that goes against the Constitution allows for the people to gather together and rally. But obviously, that's not how Nigeria works. Anything that is written in the books, if you go by the books, you are going to get burned. That's how Nigeria works. But if you act illegally, then you stand a chance to thrive. So once they go out there during the protest, I expect them to be met with violence. Not only violence from the police and the soldiers, but also violence from the thugs from the politicians, the thugs from the DSS, the Nigerian army. These guys are going to send in machete-wielding thugs, people that are also poverty-stricken, by the way, the fellow victims of Nigeria that are extremely hopeless. They have no future. They have no education. They have absolutely nothing. They are the ones that are easily used by these corrupt politicians because they give them chicken change. They give them some peanuts, they give them weapons, and they throw them out there to go and attack protesters that are asking for a better country. That is going to happen on Monday. But let's see how this all turns out. Yahaya Bello is back. Fake investigation by the EFCC after Yahaya Bello stole billions. On paper, they said he stole 88 billion naira, but we all know that's a lie. Extremely downplayed. The guy probably stole trillions because each one of every one of these governors, they all steal trillions. That's how it works. Once you become a politician, you become extremely wealthy. The fastest path to becoming a billionaire in Nigeria, number one, is politics. Number two, if you become a pastorpreneur, you know those huge pastoral businesses, they open mega churches and they become billionaires because the people are easily brainwashed. And the reason why they are easily brainwashed is because they are hopeless. They have a hopeless society, and that's what Nigeria offers. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Yahaya Bello is back to showcase the decadence of the Nigerian system. And that's why when eventually the revolution happens, do not feel pity for these guys because they will get what they deserve.